Capital News tonight. More than 100 households made homeless by floods in Rukwa region. President Samia Suluhu Hassan appoints 7 appeals court judges and 21 high court judges. And in sports, the TFF CUP defending champion Simba Sports Club will host Dodoma Jiji in this season's quarterfinals, with Yanga facing Madui. Good evening, this is Capital News at 9:30. My name is Khadija Zimbwe. First, the national news. More than 100 households in Kipwi village along the border of Tanzania and Zambia in Kasanga Ward, Kalambo District, Rukwa region have nowhere to stay after water from Lake Tanganyika flooded the village, causing them to seek temporary shelter in churches.
All of us have been affected and we are asking for government assistance. We've no home. Our houses are no longer suitable to live in. There are mosquitoes and crocodiles. I'm asking the government to help us construct dispensaries and schools. More than 105 homestays have been affected and people are struggling. We've spoken to management about setting up an emergency budget so that a new dispensary can be constructed.
Of the United Republic of Tanzania, Samia Suluhu Hassan has appointed 7 judges of the Court of Appeals and extended the repost of 1 appellate judge. Here's more on the story.
The judges appointed to Court of Appeal include Patricia Saleh Fikirini, who was a senior judge in the Business Division of the High Court of Tanzania in Dar es Salaam; Penterin M. Kente, who was a senior judge of the High Court of Tanzania in Iringa; Dr. Paul Faustin Kiwelo, who was the head of the National Judicial College in Lushoto, Tanga; Lucia Gamuya Cairo, who was a senior judge of the High Court of Tanzania in Bukoba; Lilian Leonard Mashaka, who was a senior judge in the High Court's Corruption and Economic Sabotage Division in Dar es Salaam; Issa John Maige, who was a senior judge of the High Court of Tanzania's Lands Division in Dar es Salaam; Abraham Mwampashi, who was a judge of the High Court of Zanzibar. The appointment of Judge Patricia Saleh Fikirini began on the 5th of May, while the other appellate appointments begin today. The President has also appointed 21 High Court judges, who include Biswalo Eutropius Mganga, who before his appointment was the Director of Public Prosecutions, with a swearing-in date of all the appointed judges to be announced later on.
President Samia Suluhu Hassan has today met and held talks with the Executive Director of the United Nations Population Fund, Dr. Natalia Kanem, at State House in Dar es Salaam, where she thanked UNFPA for its cooperation with Tanzania in implementing various projects, as well as supporting government efforts in fighting child pregnancies, maternal deaths, gender violence, and female genital mutilation.
We know, though, that life can be difficult for people who may be in a rural area, who may be living in conditions where the family is poor. UNFPA has 3 zeros that lead to the betterment of life. The first one is to help women and men to cooperate to plan their family. This leads to a stronger, happier family. Our second endeavor is to ensure that there are 0 deaths during pregnancy and childbirth. If a girl is too young to bear children, she's at risk of dying. If a mother cannot access a midwife when she is in a difficult labor, this can lead to complications for the mother and for the newborn. UNFPA works with the health services of Tanzania to assure that no woman dies while giving life, and to assure that things like female genital mutilation and early marriage will come to an end in this country. Lastly, like everywhere in the world, Tanzania has issues of violence against women and girls, and UNFPA works very closely with the relevant authorities, especially at the local government level, to be sure that women are protected, that girls know that they are equal and that they should not be victimized. I would like to express my satisfaction that in the hands of President Suluhu and her government, the United Nations can contribute to the promise of every person being able to fulfill their potential.
In another development, President Samia Suluhu Hassan also met and held talks with the Minister for Africa of the Government of the United Kingdom, James Philip Dududre, at a State House in Dar es Salaam, where the President welcomed British companies to invest in various sectors in Tanzania.
This morning, as well as meeting the President, I met the trade and investment ministers and discussed the possibility of having regular bilateral meetings where we looked at opportunities for investment and trade, but also talk about issues where there have been problems and overcoming those problems, but also recognising where there's problems we can overcome and communicating that to drive forward more investment. There are vast opportunities in Tanzania. Occasionally there's resistance to coming into new countries or doing more business, but actually creating an environment of confidence where it becomes easier to do business, and the narrative is very much around not just that Tanzania is a place of opportunity, but a place that's easier and getting easier by the day to do business. And that's really important because British companies contribute 5% of the tax revenue here in Tanzania. So that's just as important to do trade and commerce, in fact more so than the development budget, because it's that 5%, if we can increase that, that puts more money into the coffers of the tax revenues authority, which allows politicians to spend more money on girls' education, on health and development here in this great country.
Residents of Chasimba, Chachui and Chatembo have complained that their chairman has failed to deliver their request to the government to help them, as they are unable to pay over 10 billion shillings compensation to the investor of a cement factory for over 2 million square meters of land they have settled on. They have urged President Samia Suluhu Hassan to intervene on the issue.
What is surprising is we heard from social media that they sat down and agreed on 20,000 or 30,000. When did they sit with us and agreed on this? The responsibility of local government is to receive instructions from the government and bring it to the people, and to get opinions from the people and take it to the government. And this is what we are doing. We've called for this meeting so that we can hear people's grievances and take it to the government.
Swala la Chasimba linafahamika.
The issue about Chasimba is known. An investor in that area was a cement on that piece of land, but after encroachment, the people filed a complaint claiming that land belonged to them, but they were defeated, and after referral, land was awarded to the cement factory and an order for eviction was issued. Discussions have been going on for 5 years with management, who agreed to be paid compensation.
Kwa wale wananchi wa Chasimba, Chatembo na Chachui ni wavamizi, wamejenga katika eneo la kiwanda cha cement.
Prime Minister Kassim Majaliwa has directed the Minister of Water and Minister of State in the President's Office for Regional Administration and Local Government to establish a joint plan that will ensure availability of water in rural and urban areas. He also warned against theft, misappropriation and delay implementation of water projects.
Tufanye tafiti za kutosha, tujue maji yanapatikana wapi. Let's do enough research to find out where water is available. The authorities should allocate enough money to complete the water projects and deliver water to the people. The minister has stated that he will not see a lot of money spent without benefits by not getting water. Manage water supply to the people. I know what is managed by the mother industry. Use this opportunity to access water and manage these opportunities and manage these projects and ensure that we manage damage. We have built big projects. The revenue you earn create water projects. I'll give you an example, Honorable Minister. DAWASA used to collect 7 billion, but now they are collecting almost 15 billions, and they are implementing major projects in Kigamboni area that was in dire need of water for 65 billion. And this is their money for local revenue, and that is the direction of our water ministry.
Kwenye ripoti hii tumeshindanisha mamlaka hizi kwa utendaji wake, tumeweka targets ambazo mnasikia.
In this report, we have competed with these authorities for their performance. We have set targets and they have achieved. Our report has 3 winners. In the national projects, the first winner is Kashwasa. In the regional headquarters authority, the winner is the Water and Sanitation Authority in Moshi. But in the district headquarters and small towns, the winner are Biharamulo Water Authorities. Honorable Prime Minister, we decided to give a check of 21 million shillings for each the winning water authority.
Lakini kwenye mamlaka za miji midogo na miji ya makao makuu ya wilaya na miji midogo ni mamlaka ya maji ya Biharamulo.
Ministry of Health, Community Development, Gender, Elderly and Children has tabled in Parliament its over 1 trillion shillings budget for the 2021-2022 financial year.
Wizara imedhamiria kuhakikisha inawasilisha mswada wa sheria ya bima ya afya kwa wote mwezi Juni 2021 kwenye bunge lako tukufu.
The ministry is determined to ensure a health insurance fund policy by June 2021 is complete. A total of 231 million shillings will be used in managing the exercise. Also, we are looking forward to expand 21 projects that aims at improving hospital infrastructures of referral and special zones hospitals. Again, a total of 68 billion shillings will be used in purchasing medicines and medical devices. Among priorities of National Development Plan of 2021-2022 includes reduction of maternal and mortality death rates, where almost 63 billion will be used. Again, the committee has found out that funds set for such projects are not enough.
Ili tuwe na madawa ya kutosha kwa mwaka mzima, tunahitaji milioni karibu 80.
In order for Ukerewe to get sustainable supply of medicines, almost 80 million shillings is needed annually for purchasing enough medicines. But until December last year, they have just received 20 million shillings. That is the reason why there is scarcity of medicines at government hospitals, pharmacies. And the National Environment Management Council, NEMC, is expected to take to court 16 traders in Songea after they were arrested allegedly for importing, selling and distributing plastic bags that have been banned in the country.
We shall no longer just fine offenders, but they will also be taken to court so that they don't continue in this trade. The people arrested today are the same people that were arrested previously. They were taken to court and fined, but they are still carrying on. Traders have already made a purchase. Where are they going to find the money to buy new bags?
And that is the end of national news. International news follows next. In international news, at least 7 children and 1 teacher were killed in a shooting at a Russian school in the southwestern city of Kazan Here's more on the story.
Governor of the Tatarstan Republic said that 4 male and 3 female students had died in Tuesday's shooting. According to regional health officials, 21 others were hospitalized with wounds, including 18 children. Social media footage show a young man being pinned to the ground outside the school building by a police officer.
And the Israel military renewed its bombardment of the besieged Gaza Strip on Tuesday morning, targeting several areas after rockets were fired from the enclave. Here's the report.
Have said at least 2 people were killed in the incident. The new attacks come hours after at least 24 Palestinians, including 9 children, were killed in overnight Israel airstrike on the Strip after Hamas launched rockets from the coastal territory towards Israel. The rocket fire came after Gaza's rulers Hamas issued an ultimatum demanding Israel stand down its security forces from the Al-Aqsa Mosque compound in occupied East Jerusalem after days of violence against Palestinians.
And the government of Kenya has suspended all flights between Kenya and Somalia, citing operational sensitive information. Here's more on the story.
Kenya Civil Aviation Authority said only medical evacuation and United Nations flights on humanitarian missions will be allowed between the 2 countries. The move comes barely a week after the federal government of Somalia said it had restored diplomatic ties with Kenya. On May 6, Somalia's Ministry of Information said the diplomatic ties had been restored following intervention by Qatar.
And that is the end of international news. Business news follows next.
Tune in to Business Edition and meet business leaders and experts who'll keep you informed on business and economic developments taking place in the country, such as tourism, construction, energy, transport, mining, agriculture, communication, banking, real estate, and more. Business Edition on Friday at 8:15 p.m. only on Capital Television.
Welcome back, and in business news tonight. And sports in business news. Now, mobile phone company Tigo has launched in the market a new phone in Phoenix Hot 10T, where customers who buy the phone at any Tigo shop will be able to get free internet services for 1 year. We are bringing good quality phones in Fixed Phone Hot 10T is going to the market with annual internet package of a total of about 78 GBs.
Ya sokoni ikiwa ina ofa ya interneti bure mwaka mzima, ambapo mteja akinunua tu anapata GB 78.
Sesame farmers in Songea district of Ruvuma region have said they will not sell their harvest in the second auction at OTC Lilambo market due to the low prices offered by buyers. Honestly, we receive agriculture inputs at higher prices while the load at the farms is bigger. We wish for prices to go down at least by 2,500 shillings. Songea is a good example of warehouse receipts, where AMCOS groups, together with their farmers and AMCOS groups members, sell their produce together. Due to the coronavirus pandemic, only 7 countries so far have confirmed participation in the 45th DAR es Salaam International Trade Fair, where 54 foreign companies and 808 local companies have confirmed to take part in the event.
Tumetoa msisitizo mkubwa kwa makampuni ya ndani.
We have highly emphasized for internal companies to participate at the exhibition. At Sabasaba grounds, we shall have 3 streets where the streets will include agriculture, where our farmers will showcase products that are produced from farms.
Kilimo ambapo wakulima wetu wataonyesha bidhaa.
And that is the end of business news. Sports news follows shortly after the break.
Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading the moment and going away. Gay trying to go with him, and he's being dragged through to second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading the moment and going away. Gay trying to go with him, and he's being dragged through to second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Opposition, Joaquinho, he did lose to Lynn.
Welcome back, and in sports news. The TFF CUP defending champions Simba Sports Club will host Dodoma Jiji in this season's quarterfinals, with Yanga facing Modui. Here's more on the story.
The TFF CUP quarter-final draw was played today, with the defending champions Simba playing at home against Dodoma Jiji, while their rivals Yanga will be visiting Modui FC. Azam FC will head to Tabora for a matchup against Rhino FC, while last year's finalists Namungo will visit Biashara United. The possibility of another KARIAKOO derby will only happen if both teams, Simba and Yanga, reach the finals.
Simba Sports Club and Yanga Sports Club players have missed out on millions of shillings promised after the KARIAKOO derby was postponed on May 8th. Here's more on the story.
Who were the hosts failed to pocket 240 million shillings, while Timmy Wananchi did not go home with 540 million shillings, as the match was not played in the end. The match was called off when Yanga opposed the move to have the game being played at 19 hours East Africa time. Simba's board vice chairman Saeed Abdullah said they have now set their focus on the next games, but the promise made to the players remains. Yanga, who have given their players a one-day break, had promised them 540 million shillings, more than what Simba stars were promised, and they picked up a win against the traditional rivals.
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer insists he will not risk the welfare of his Manchester United players as they prepare for the second of 3 Premier League fixtures in 5 days, hinting players such as Scola Shoretire and Ahmad Diallo could come into their reckoning for tonight's meeting with Leicester.
Victory at Aston Villa on Sunday, coupled with West Ham's defeat to Everton, ensured back-to-back top 4 finishes for the first time since Sir Alex Ferguson's retirement. The Premier League title race is also still technically alive for United, but with Manchester City needing just one more win to secure the league, plus a Europa League final against Villarreal this month to prepare for, Solskjaer admits it is unlikely he will remain consistent with his team selection. Solskjaer also reserved praise for Mason Greenwood after he continued his fine recent form on Sunday.
Arsenal fans have turned on owner Stan Kroenke and manager Mikel Arteta despite the Gunners' 3-1 defeat of West Bromwich Albion on Sunday.
After being knocked out of the Europa League by Villarreal, the North London outfit had to silence the Baggies to stay in the hunt for top 7 finish in the Premier League. With 3 matches to the end of 2020-21 campaign, the Gunners are already mathematically out of contention for Champions League berth, and it appears unlikely for the Emirates Stadium Giants to earn a spot in the Europa League next term. With that in mind, the club's fans have slammed the owner and the Spaniard for Arsenal's woeful run this season, and they have taken to social media to ask the duo to quit their roles as they demand a new beginning.
And Lewis Hamilton has indicated he is eager to conclude a new deal that will see him continuing to race on in Formula One. Here's more on the story.
His victory in Sunday's Spanish Grand Prix, the world champion said he would like to be in a position to have concluded negotiations with his Mercedes team by the time Formula One takes its summer break in August. The team principal, Toto Wolff, has suggested he expects Hamilton to sign a 2-year contract with Mercedes. Hamilton won from Red Bull's Max Verstappen at the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya, after he and Mercedes delivered a masterclass of teamwork. Mercedes pulled off a bold strategic race, opting to pit Hamilton twice, confident their driver could overcome the deficit on track to Verstappen.
And that sports item ends our news bulletin for tonight. My name is Khadija Zimbo. Thank you for watching and good night.